Family, friends, politicians, civil activists, and celebrities all gathered in Minneapolis on Thursday.
We will get justice.
For a memorial service to remember George Floyd, the black man whose death in police custody set off a wave of nationwide protests in the midst of a pandemic and a divisive presidential election campaign. In attendance was Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, who sat beside Martin Luther King III, who sat in front of U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar. And Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey knelt and appeared to weep before George Floyd's casket.
It is not a normal funeral.
The Reverend Al Sharpton gave a eulogy at the service and applauded the unity of marchers protesting police brutality in demonstrations that have reached the doors of the White House.
Because you can't take your knee off our neck.
And without mentioning his name, Sharpton criticized the president for posing with a Bible in front of a boarded-up church where law enforcement officers cleared away protesters.
We cannot use Bibles as a prop. And for those that have agendas that are not about justice, this family will not let you use George as a prop.
Ben Crump, a lawyer for the Floyd family, told the memorial service that what the police officers did on May 25th was evil.
Protest against evil.
And said it was not the coronavirus that killed Floyd, after his autopsy showed he tested positive for the virus, but was not listed as a factor in his death.
It was not the coronavirus pandemic that killed George Floyd. It was that pandemic of racism and discrimination that killed George Floyd.
On Thursday, the 3 former Minneapolis police officers charged with aiding and abetting the murder of George Floyd made their first appearances in court, where bail was set at $1 million. They face up to 40 years in prison if convicted. So too does Derek Chauvin, the police officer who pinned his knee into Floyd's neck for nearly 9 minutes and is charged with second-degree murder. He's due in court on Monday. Justice! Outside of Minneapolis, Americans marched at memorial events across the country. In New York City, which has been hit by looting during the protests, thousands of people attended a memorial event in a Brooklyn park. George Floyd's brother, Terrence, joined the event, and after an emotional moment, composed himself to address the crowd.
I was mad, I was upset, but I want to thank God. It wasn't his fault. It was his purpose. It was his will.